Imagine you live in Florida, and just 1 week after Hurricane Harvey, you're told another hurricane has formed in the Atlantic. As it continues to approach the coast of Florida over the next week, you see your grocery store shelves start to empty. Your local gas stations are sold out, and several of your neighbors are boarding up their windows in order to protect their homes. As you continue to observe those around you and discuss with family and friends, you begin to ask yourself what your next step should be. Should you evacuate immediately to avoid any possible danger? Should you wait and see how the forecast might change so that you can avoid missing any work or school? Days later, you turn on the news to find that the governor has warned those in an evacuation zone just a few miles away. Do not wait. Evacuate. Not tonight, not in an hour. You need to go right now. You begin to question what this could mean for your own safety. Could you also be at risk even though you aren't in an evacuation zone? Should you evacuate with them? Should you shelter in place to avoid getting stuck in hours of traffic? There are a lot of factors that influence people's decisions of whether or not to evacuate and the timing of that evacuation. While evacuation decisions made at the individual level might seem inconsequential, the impact that they can have on road networks can be substantial, especially when you consider the added traffic from those evacuating from outside of evacuation zones. In evacuation research, the estimates of the times and locations from which people evacuate are referred to as departure times. The most common approach to studying these departure times has been to survey individuals after a hurricane to ask what time they evacuated. A more recent approach uses cell phone location data, which has opportunities for studying these departures in real time. Current approaches use algorithms to determine the time of the evacuation and researcher judgment to determine the regions from which these evacuations began. As part of my dissertation research, I developed an algorithm that removes this human judgment and instead approximates both the times and locations of evacuations from anonymized location datasets. To do so, we look at past departure trends from a given area and use this as a basis of comparison for the departures that occur during the hurricane. With this information, we're able to identify areas where there was an increase in departures around the time of the hurricane. Combined with information about wind and flood risks, we're able to use mobile phone location data to identify hotspots where evacuations likely took place, including those from outside of evacuation zones. Once we do so, we can look closer at the departures that took place within that region to calculate how the number of departures changes over the course of the day. As a result, we're able to gain a better understanding of where evacuees are coming from and what time they get on the road. This can be used in the projection of traffic conditions, which emergency managers use to ensure that evacuees can safely exit the risk area before it becomes unsafe to be on the road. This information can also be used to inform how resources are allocated to decrease travel times, including changing the timing of traffic lights to prioritize the flow of evacuation traffic, implementing contraflow so that both sides of the road travel in the same direction, and informing the public when alternative routes are available with similar or lesser expected travel times or delays. So in the future, when you see your grocery store shelves start to empty, your local gas stations sold out, and several of your neighbors boarding up their windows in order to protect their homes, our research can help emergency managers by providing additional insights into evacuation behavior, and in turn help you with evacuating to safety. Thank you.